We're back. Another episode of Suits and Boots podcast. Welcome to season 2. We're going to get to it here in just a second. Hey guys, well, it's been a while and we're finally back. We haven't recorded an episode in, gosh, I don't know. It's almost been a year probably. It's been a while.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah. So, well, this has been just a crazy year for us, and we thought it might be time to get back on here and give you guys an update on where we've been, what we've been doing. And if you've been around the office, you know there's been a lot of changes this year. So it's been kind of crazy, hasn't it?
It has. That's what we'll talk about today. A couple different points we want to go over just to kind of update you on where we're at.
Yeah. So I guess the big one, the really big one this year is Benbow, Davidson, and Martin is still Benbow, Davidson, and Martin, but we're absent the Benbow.
That's
gosh,
right.
That sounds a little terrible, doesn't it? Sorry, David.
He's still with us.
Yeah. No, David retired. As you guys know, we talked about it quite a bit on the podcast. He had been planning to retire for several years now. We had been working through a succession plan, which honestly is something that any of you guys who own a business, that's something we really need to talk about, is succession planning and how to transition that business to the next generation.
Be on the lookout for that episode.
Yeah, right. Well, David was such a forward thinker in that area, especially in the area of law. It's not unusual for maybe a bigger plumbing company or any service company to say, hey, we're going to sell it to somebody else.
Yep.
Lawyers just don't do that, do they?
There's kind of maybe it's a stereotype, but they say a lot of lawyers die at their desk. So good for David for getting out while he could. For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, we have been just fortunate to have a founder who, in so many ways, we would fuss and fight about trying to modernize and things like that. But my goodness, he was one of the most progressive thinking attorneys as far as business and business development.
That's right.
That we could have worked for.
That's right. What, 51 years?
51 years.
Been around the block for sure.
So David, if you're out there watching, we love you. We thank you. The law firm is doing great. We obviously still have his name on the sign, and we're going to keep that on the sign. Because he's just such a well thought of man in the community.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of goodwill out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, another big thing that happened last year, toward the end of last year, as you guys know, I've been in real estate practice now for 10 years. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years. But I had a few guys reach out to me a few years ago, and they said, Luke, you ought to think about getting your specialization, your board certified credentials for real estate law. And I never did anything with it. So finally last year I decided to take the plunge. And it's a big deal because it's like taking the bar exam all over again. So you have to have 5 years in the practice of whatever area you're going to specialize in. You have to take a test. You have to have so many CLE hours. You have to have so many peer reviews to say, hey, yeah, this guy can do it or this girl can do it. And it's sort of, not many attorneys want to put themselves through it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you pass the bar, you think, I'm in, I'm done. Why am I doing this again?
Yeah, why would I take another 2-day test and try to get this certification? But I really love real estate law. And I think that once, and you and I have talked about this quite a bit, when you first start in this business, you really don't know what you're going to do. You just kind of come in and as Mr. Davidson says, you do feline law, just whatever the cat drags in.
Yep.
And so you get started. I had no idea I would be a real estate attorney, but once I got into it, I absolutely love it. And so the specialization just kind of sets me apart and says, hey, this guy really enjoys what he does. Yep. He really enjoys real estate law, so much so that I even have taken more classes and done more to be a part of it. So I got my specialization in commercial real property and residential real property. So 2 specializations in one.
One of how many who have both in the state?
I think there's maybe like 25 in the state that have both of those credentials. There's a lot of, there'll be, and I don't know exactly the numbers, but there's maybe 20 or 30 residential specialists and maybe 20 or 30 commercial specialists, but very few guys or girls who have
Venn diagram
both.
is pretty small in the middle
both.
there.
Yeah. So, but it's just something that I really love, and we've been doing a lot of commercial work. We've done some several multi-million-dollar commercial deals. We did this past year. We did our first closing on a publicly traded company, which was so cool to do the closing and then to see the press release come out in like all the major national papers because you have to do press releases when you're publicly traded. So all that's been just really, really cool for this small town law firm and a small town attorney. So I'm just really blessed and really thankful.
Absolutely,
to do it.
Well, I know that was not easy. I would go by his office and the door would be closed. I'd be listening, and he'd be listening to those continuing legal education that you had to have. So it was a process for sure. Take time off, go take the test. So not an easy thing. I don't know if I could see myself doing it.
Oh yeah, you could do it. You could do it. Yeah. You just give it a few years.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was. So people ask me, was the test stressful? And it was hard, but it really wasn't all that stressful. And for me, it came down to I really enjoy the subject matter. So I was getting to sit there and think deeply about this area of law that I love, and I didn't really have any consequences.
Yeah.
Like with the bar, if you fail the bar, you don't have a job. If I failed this test, I just go to work the next day. I mean, in so many ways, it was really fun. Yeah. It was just a fun exercise, and I thought, if I pass, that's wonderful. If I don't, oh well. Yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of weird. In some demented way now, we'll talk about things that are happening at the office and say, this would be a really good question for an exam. And it's like the stakes are obviously high for real life things, but when it's hypotheticals, it's whatever. I could kind of think out loud here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, something else happened this year to you.
That's right.
So you want to fill us in on that?
Yeah, they let me in. I have moved from being the associate around these parts to a partner. They brought me on. I have become a partner at Benbow, Davidson, Martin, and I've been loving it so far. It's been great to kind of see behind the curtain, and I've loved what I've seen. So
I think the one of the funnest conversations that we've had, and it's been good to have so just another like-minded person to just bounce things off of.
Absolutely.
But some of the more fun conversations we've had are I have a hard time sitting still, as you know.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm always thinking about things and thinking about ways to do more or move the firm forward. And not long after David left, I came to Kolin and I said, hey, I've got this idea. And Colin's like, Luke, man, David just exited. Maybe we let things settle down a little bit. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's a good idea. And then it wasn't just a couple days later, something else came up, and then something else came. And what we've figured out, and what you guys know if you're business owners at all, or maybe just life, I don't know. But
yeah, I think it's broadly applicable.
It very seldom you have a time where there's not 10,000 things going on at one time. Mm-hmm. Things rarely settle down. And as a business owner, and I think you would agree with this, if things did settle down for too long, you got to start thinking, are we in a rut?
Yeah, we've learned that's not a good thing.
We want to keep this thing going. We want to, so there's a certain amount of plates that need to be spinning in the air.
That's
at any
been
one
kind
time.
of our, I don't know if you would call it a motto, but we'll just look at each other from time to time and go, a lot of plates spinning up there.
Keep them spinning.
Keep them spinning.
Don't drop the ball.
No, you want them to be spinning up there. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the more recent change would be our offices.
Yep.
So
yep.
For years and years, we had this beautiful striped wallpaper in our lobby.
Some may say beautiful. Yeah.
Well, it's gone.
Gone.
But now the thing that I'm most sad about, I think, is in our conference room. If you'd ever been in our conference room at 309, we had the wallpaper border at the top with the matching curtains.
Yes. Yep.
And they're gone.
The room was tied together.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give any more insight on that one. It's different now.
It is different now. The floors are different. We had this burgundy carpet. I mean, if you had walked in our office in maybe the late 80s, early 90s, it would have been like, man, this is nice. This is nice. But it just didn't have that same feel anymore. Really.
For some reason, styles change. I don't know why it's bizarre, but it's...
So we have updated the office. We've been remodeling. If you've been by lately, thank you for your patience, because for so long, for weeks now, we've been sending people to one door, and now we've switched, and now we're sending everybody to another door. And so I think it's going to stay this way for a while. So if you've been to our office, you know the real estate, if you're facing the building, the real estate side was always on the right-hand side. So that was the real estate office. You'd go in that, or I'm sorry, left-hand side.
Yes.
If you're facing the building, left-hand side, you would go into that building for the real estate. Everything else was to the right, down that alleyway between the two buildings. Well, it worked out great. And we really had, we were trying to make the most efficient use of the space, but what it ended up doing was it created a situation where we had to have two receptionists.
Yeah.
And we had people going in two different doors, and we would have to take them out of one. Oh, I'm sorry, you came to the wrong side. We'll walk you back over to the other side. Now we're all streamlined.
That's right.
Now we're all going to one door. So when you come to the office, you'll see these two buildings side by side, and you'll just go down the alleyway between the two buildings, and there's an entrance right there in the courtyard. Mm-hmm. It's really beautiful. There's a beautiful flower bed. And actually, kind of a little known fact maybe, and we should maybe advertise it, like put a plaque out or something, but the tree that's planted in our courtyard, we've got a little, is it like a Japanese maple or something? Some sort of maple tree, I think. It's planted in our courtyard, and it was planted in honor or in memory of David Benbow's mother. Richard Phillips, who was David's partner before I came along, was planted that tree in memory of David's mother. And so it's just a really special little area. Beautiful plants, beautiful flowers, little tree. And when you're sitting in our waiting room, you're actually looking out the window at that. Yep. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, you'll walk down that alleyway between the two buildings and just take a right. You'll see the door there. And so everybody, whether you're there for real estate, whether you're there to see Kolin or Daryl or anybody else in the office or Scott, you're going to go in that door right there, and there'll be somebody there to greet you and take it from there.
Yep, we've completely condensed to where you really won't need to go to the other side at all. We've got two conference rooms on the right side of the building, 309. We've got the Phillips conference room for Richard, and then we have the Benbow conference room for David.
Yep.
So
it's really cool.
An homage to our founders.
Yeah. And the Phillips conference room is actually Richard Phillips' old office. So it's just really neat to pay tribute to those guys whose shoulders that we're standing on. Yep. And who built this thing and kept it, who took the risk back in the day to start it. David came here in the late 70s and decided, hey, I think I'm just going to open my own shop.
Yep.
And
hang a shingle.
And that takes a lot of guts. Well, neither one of us did it.
No. And to see what it's come to now it's really hard to wrap your head around. Yeah. But here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we are. Well, the final thing. So while we're thinking about the past and we want to pay tribute to the past and honor those folks who came before us, we're also looking to the future.
That's right.
So many things happening in the future. And we're just going to there's a couple of things that I kind of want to hit on. One is our real estate closing software. Not something that I'd really thought about, but kind of give you guys an update. Our real estate software that we've been using is probably 30 years old. I mean, it really looks like if you're old enough to remember, which you're probably not, to remember Windows 95.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
You think you've seen it? I've heard of that.
Yeah.
It looks, were you even born in 95?
96. Well, the people watching this are going to roll their eyes and go, wait, you mean this guy's doing my will now? So thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Thanks.
You're welcome. Oh, man. Well, we've talked a lot about estates that you've worked on from people who maybe passed away when you were in high school.
Feeling. Yeah, that's been really strange.
Well, and we're off subject. We need to focus.
We are. Yeah, lock in here.
But it's still, it just goes to show it really doesn't matter your age. What matters is, do you care? And that's one of the things that I think really sets us apart is caring about people. And so we want to update the real estate closing software. It's going to be a newer program. We're probably going to try to incorporate some kind of client portal where they can get in and upload documents directly to us and just streamline things and make it a little easier, more efficient. The other thing we're going to do is, so our website is statesvillelaw.com, and that was absolutely perfect for David and Richard because they were here in Statesville. That's right. We didn't open the Taylorsville office until 2020, I think, maybe 2020. I think it was 2020. We opened the Taylorsville office, and really didn't think a whole lot. Back then, we were thinking maybe we'll expand a little bit past that, but probably not out of Iredell County. But in the recent years, with doing eminent domain work and things like that, we're way past Iredell County. So we're going from Murphy to Manteo. Literally, we have cases in both places. And so it's no longer just Statesville law. And so we're going to try to get away from statesvillelaw.com. We are already starting to work on branding for Crossroads Legal Group.
Crossroads Legal Group.
Yeah, and the idea is to kind of pay homage to, Statesville has always been known as the crossroads of the future. And we think about the two interstates crossing here, but everywhere there's crossroads.
That's right.
Right?
Yep, that's why you're coming to see us. A lot of times you're at a crossroads and you need help. You need to find the way to go forward, and that's what we want to do for you. We want to help however we can.
Yeah, so that's just some expanded branding you'll probably see. We're not changing the Benbow, Davidson, and Martin moniker. We're just kind of adding on some branding that really reflects who we are, and more accurately reflects our scope. Yeah. We were talking just before the camera started rolling that we're doing work for clients who live in North Carolina, but we're co-counseling with South Dakota attorneys to do some South Dakota stuff. And a little teaser for maybe an upcoming episode: South Dakota trusts are really, really good for keeping things private. So if you've got something you want to kind of lock down and keep, for whatever reason you want to keep it private, South Dakota Trust. And we've got a source, a guy who is a licensed South Dakota attorney who we work with really closely, fellow Liberty alumni, that we need to get him on here and share some of that information with you guys. So lots of exciting things coming up this year.
That's right. We're looking forward to it. Be looking out for us on new episodes. I think every other week is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
We'll see you then.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching.
Thank you.
The information contained in this video and audio recording is general in nature and should not be relied upon in making legal decisions. Every situation is different, and you should consult with your attorney before making any legal decisions.